What is up, guys? It is RSC6414 here, back with another video. This time I'm recapping the final two of the first four games, is what the NCAA has called it for the past 3 years. And there's two games that happened tonight. Last night, as you know, I made a video, Albany and NC State won to advance. And tonight, let's go ahead and recap some of the things that went on and the players that kind of stood out, and preview who they will face next. The first game we had tonight was Texas Southern out of the SWAC. They were Southwestern Athletic Conference champions. The Texas Southern Tigers taking on the Cal Poly Mustangs, who were 13-19. They were a 7 seed in the Big West. They won their conference tournament and defied all odds to get in. And this game started off, Texas Southern had really basically one player that actually came to play, and they're potentially talking about him going to the NBA one day or playing pro basketball. And the player that stood out to me for Texas Southern, he basically kept his team in the game for the first 15 minutes, and Cal Poly would pull away. But Eric Murray was the guy that played pretty well. He had 38 points. Great game by him. And then you had Chris Eversley for Cal Poly, who had 19 points, and Dave Nwaba, who's the leader of the team. He's a senior, the forward. He had a good game. So Cal Poly, basically, Texas Southern played terrible defense the whole game. Cal Poly's a team that averages in the mid to late 60s of points per game. And they ended up scoring 81 points. Texas Southern had 69, but Cal Poly had the lead by 12 at half with some good shooting and terrible defense by Texas Southern. Texas Southern would cut the lead to 7 points, and then they would cut it to 6, which was the closest they had it since, I think, like halfway through the first half. There was chance, there was 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but some missed shots down the stretch. Cal Poly got the advantage and made their free throws to end up winning the game. So Cal Poly defeated Texas Southern 81-69. Cal Poly advances to Friday night to face the 1 seed Wichita State Shockers in the Midwest region. That game will be at 7:10 p.m. this Friday in St. Louis, Missouri, where Wichita State won the the Missouri Valley Conference tournament. So Cal Poly wins. Congrats to them. First NCAA tournament win. Not known for their sports, but more for their intelligence and the smart people. But Cal Poly for the win. So Cal Poly wins. They face Wichita State. I really don't see Cal Poly winning this game, even though Wichita State, some people think they're overrated. They are undefeated. Wichita State, I see them kind of cruising over Cal Poly here. I think Cal Poly could give them some trouble in the first 10 minutes because they really don't have anything to lose here. But they're just happy to be here at this point and win a game. So congrats to Cal Poly, but my pick for next game is Wichita State. And then the final game of the night we had was Iowa versus Tennessee, the best game of the NCAA tournament so far, in my opinion, until overtime when Tennessee would end up pulling away. But basically, Iowa was up by 11 points. It was like 27-16. Tennessee would go on a 27-16. They'd go on a 10-2 run to cut the lead within 3 at half. So it'd be 29-26 Iowa Hawkeyes. Devin Marble, Roy Devin Marble for Iowa, is their star player. He had an off game. He had about 7 points here, but he did make a big shot at the end to send it to overtime. McCray for Tennessee, their star player, delivered here. He had 20 points. He kept the team alive. Tennessee would eventually come back and be off and on the last 10 minutes of the game. One team would hit a 3. The next team would respond with a good 3-point play or a dunk or something big that would give them the momentum. So it was basically exchanging baskets for the last 10 minutes. Really competitive game. Good game overall. And basically what would happen is Roy Devin Marble would make a jump shot with 18 seconds left to tie the game at 64. Jordan McCray, the player that's got 20 points, it's one of their star players, along with Jarnell Stokes. McCray would miss the shot, and they'd go to overtime. Iowa would only score 1 point in overtime, and Tennessee would score 14, and Tennessee would win in overtime 78-65. These players that stood out here to me, Roy Devin Marvel hit a clutch shot even though he had an off game. But the leading scorers for Iowa was Adam Woodbury, their center, with 16. And then you had Jarnell Stokes with 18 and Jordan McRae, their 2 stars, leading scoring. And so good game, best game, but Tennessee pulled away in the end. So congrats to Tennessee. Tennessee advances, and I thought it was a good game for what it was worth till overtime. Tennessee faces the 6-seeded UMass Minutemen on Friday in Raleigh, North Carolina. In my home state of North Carolina. Too bad I will not be going to the tournament, even though Duke is in it, unfortunately. But I think it should be a good game. A lot of people are picking Tennessee to beat UMass because people don't think UMass should be a 6. They think they should be like 11 and vice versa. UMass has beaten some teams early this year like Baylor. They've played some teams that are in this tournament real tough, and I think people aren't giving them enough credit. I'm going to have to pick 6-seed UMass. I could see 11-seed Tennessee winning, but I think 6-seed UMass is going to pull off the win in a close game. So, hope you enjoyed this video. I'll have a recap of all the games. I'll have a game recap of all the games tomorrow that have happened. On Thursday night after every game's finished, I'll do another video recapping the next day of the tournament. Hope you enjoyed this video. Check out my other videos and subscribe. Thanks, guys.